Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll be sharing the local G100 settings details. So let's jump straight in and we'll take a look. The local G100 settings, including serial ports, network configuration, time settings, administrator user management, etc., are managed using either the MCP local configuration utility or the MCP Settings GUI. The functionality of the system is identical when settings are performed. The difference is one is a shell-based interface and the other is a web-based interface. To launch the MCP CFG, use a terminal emulator connected to the G100 shell, either via the serial maintenance port number 4 or using an SSH port 22 connection. 2. Start a terminal session and log in to the G100 with an administrator level or root user account. 3. At the command line prompt, enter sudo MCP CFG and the user password when prompted. The MCP Settings GUI is a web-based equivalent of the MCP Local Configuration Utilities MCP CFG. To launch the local MCP Settings GUI, 1. Connect an available mouse keyboard to the G100. 2. Once the G100 is powered up and has a valid license installed, click on the MCP name via the taskbar. 3. Click System Settings. 4. A default web browser will be open showing the MCP Settings login screen. To launch the remote MCP Settings GUI, 1. Using the supported web browser, disable proxy and type the G100's IP address that can be reached from your PC with port number 8081 into the address bar and press the Enter key. 2. The user is required to confirm security certificate exception. 3. The MCP Settings login screen is now displayed. This presentation presents settings workflows based on the web-based Settings GUI interface hereafter. When you log in for the first time with the G100, follow steps below to complete the initial setup. 1. Use the default defadmin account, user defadmin/password defadmin to log in. 2. Once logged in as a defadmin user, you'll be then prompted to create an administrator account to access the full Settings GUI menu. On the Gateway Settings main menu, select the Configure Authentication, then Administrator Group Users tab, and then select the Add User tab to create administrator level users. The defadmin account will be removed the next time you log in with a newly created user and are signed out of all defadmin sessions. 3. The default enabled configure network port is net1 with 192.168.168.81/24 as the IP address and can be used as such. If required to change the default IP address and/or configure additional network ports, you can navigate back to the main menu, then select Configure Network Interfaces to do so. Please check the recording slide following this one for the detailed steps. 4. After you complete the above workflow, select Reboot Device to reboot the device for the changes to take effect. After you complete the first-time login workflow, the next step to be performed is set the G100's internal date and time, as well as modify options associated with time synchronization. To do so, log in using the newly created admin username/password, then select the Configure Time and Time Sync tab. 1. Select the Set System Time Zone tab, and then select the Set Time Zone tab to configure the G100 to the same time zone as a remote PC. This should be the first step to be performed when configuring date and time settings. 2. Go back and configure the Time and Time Sync tab, and then select the Set System Clock tab, enter today's date and remote PC time to set the system clock. Go back to the Configure Time and Time Sync tab, and then select the Select Time Source Clock tab, select iRig-B tab in this example, then select the Enable-Disable tab to switch the mode accordingly. You can also select the iRig-B format to select the required format and activate it. You'll have to reboot the device for the changes to take effect. The G100 supports a default root user that's used to connect the device from the serial maintenance port. The default password for the root user is GE-root. The root account password must be changed by end users. To change the root account password, select Configure Authentication from the main menu, then select the Root Administrator Settings tab. Click Change Root Password to change the password associated with the system root user account. Once the new password is confirmed, a pop-up window will appear showing the operation status successfully changed password for user:root. The G100 provides 4 independent Ethernet ports. Network ports, Net1 and Net2 are embedded ports and are always available. Net3 and Net4 are pluggable SFPs. Each SFP adapter must be configured to match the inserted type before use. In this example, we'll configure the static adapter IP address and set SFP module type for Net3. 1. Select the Configure Network Interfaces tab from the main menu, then select the Network Interfaces Net3-Net4. 2. Select the current Edit Configuration tab, then select Net 3 tab. 3. Select the Static IP Address tab, then select Configure Adapter IP Address tab. 4. Enter the IP address and subnet mask. Click Confirm. 5. Click Yes to confirm the newly configured static IP settings. 6. Navigate back to the network, edit configuration, and select SFP configuration. 7. Select the option corresponding to the SFP adapter type inserted in the SFP slot for this port. 8. Select OK to acknowledge the selection. 9. Navigate back to the main menu and select the Reboot Device tab to reboot the device for the changes to take effect. The G100 has 4 built-in serial ports. The serial ports support the following communication modes: RS-232, RS-485 2-wire. To configure serial ports, select Configure Serial Ports, then select the desired port, mode, and its termination if applicable, and then Apply. A reboot is required to apply any serial port changes. All serial port configurations persist through a power cycle and when the power is lost. The G100 requires the installation and configuration of the optional D.20 HDLC PCIe card to communicate with D20 peripheral modules. The D.20 HDLC PCIe card has 2 D.20 ports. For D.20 port A, the signals are always available. For D.20 port B, the connection for D.20 channel 1 and D.20 channel 2 are configurable. End-of-link termination on D.20 channel 1 and D.20 channel 2 are also configurable. To configure D.20 HDLC PCIe cards, select Configure D.20 port settings. If no D.20 HDLC cards are installed, the message "There are no D.20 HDLC cards installed" appears. If the D.20 HDLC card is installed, proceed to set the parameters as needed and click Apply if changed. Lastly, I want to thank you for watching this training content video. And if you're looking for more great content, take a minute and check out the Resources Hub on the GE website. You can do that by typing resources.gegridsolutions.com into your browser, or just click the link in the description of this video and it'll take you right there. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.